Well, a big thank you to everybody who supported the last film, My Calderdale, and welcome to My Calderdale Too. In this film we'll be meeting lots of interesting characters from Calderdale who live, work and play in this beautiful area. I'm here on the hillside above Barkisland at Banquet House Farm in Crumlin, and this is where in August 1970 the Crumlin Pop Festival took place. I was here on Friday the 14th of August when Elton John performed in that field down there. Sadly, driving rain and freezing temperatures washed out the event the next day, but had it all been a success, this area could have become to music festivals what Glastonbury is today. The man with the vision to create the so-called Crumlin Pop Festival was Brian Hiley, who now lives in Devon. As a first for Pathways, we are conducting this interview with Brian as if by satellite to his home in Devon to hear the definitive view about this iconic pop festival held in Crumlin. Well, the festival eventually took place at this 40-acre Banquet House Farm in Crumlin. So tell me all about creating the Yorkshire Folk Blues and Jazz Festival, as it was properly called, and your memories of it.
That's a very good question. It was 12 months of total chaos. I mean, we had no idea that as well as booking bands, we were going to need hundreds of toilets, we were going to need a fresh water supply, we were going to need ambulance services, we were going to need the police. One of the things I remember most is that I sifted through a lot of albums by unknowns to give somebody a chance on that stage, and that's where I discovered Elton John. So Elton John had his first big chance at Crumlin. It was the first time he'd been mentioned in the national music press and so on. And he still credits us with discovering him in his new biography, Me, as he calls it.
We're here at the Duke of York pub in the village of Shelf to meet two men who became full-time professional footballers. And they even had a street named after the family here in the village of Shelf. Bob and Dave Worthington, along with their younger brother Frank, all achieved fame as footballers and became local sporting legends. Well, we're down here on Shelf Hall Park. Can't believe it's such a wonderful day. And look what's happening behind. The Worthington boys having a kickabout. Let's go and meet them. What are your childhood memories of growing up here and with your dad playing for Halifax Town?
Yeah, well, most of it was to do with football, and the first football pitch we played on really was the Duke of York pub car park, which was a triangular shape with a garage in the corner, and we used to use that for our practice and our football learning with my dad.
Yeah, and also the Score Hill across the road after going to watch the fabulous Shamen.
I'm here at Bating's Reservoir, 1,540 feet wide, 160 feet high, and it holds 130 million cubic feet of water. It was opened in 1957, and here's the plaque to commemorate it. We're here in Ripton to meet a local man who has two very different jobs, and he lives just down the Ryburn Valley. Darren Lee constructs home cabins to any personal specification, and he installs them in people's gardens. The cabin could be used as extra living space, a gymnasium, a personal bar area, or to run a business from home to try and avoid extra travelling. In addition to his regular job, Darren also has a unique hidden talent, which we're about to discover.
When no one else can understand me, when everything I do is wrong, you give me hope and consolation. You give me strength to carry on, and you're always there to lend a hand in everything I do. That's the wonder of you.
Is that all right, Trevor?
Fantastic, son. Wonderful.
Yeah, but I suppose that is me to some extent. I never ever stop, and I do my own heading at times, because I'm so never shut off. And I've been done stuff for 30 years, well, coming to 4 decades in the town. Always be motivated by doing something to improve the town in some small way, by bringing the culture, improving the cultural life of it. Although initially I didn't think I'd be doing anything like that with the bar. Within about a month I thought, oh, actually, there is a small room, although it's very small, I could do something with it. And that's just led to so many things, including the Festival of Words and other things as well.
So what was it like sitting in Parliament for the first time and making your maiden speech?
It's terrifying, actually. You know, there's no other way of saying it. It is. But you always just remember that you've been elected to be there like everybody else, regardless of your age, gender, your background, anything. The people of Halifax need you to find your confidence to be their voice, and you've got to take some strength from that. So yeah, you stand up and you shout on their behalf. It certainly takes a bit of getting used to being in that chamber. It is like an amphitheatre at times, and there's a sort of riddles that you speak in. Will the honourable member give way? You know, the honourable member for their constituency rather than using their name. So all of that takes a bit of practice. But it's just such a huge privilege every time you stand up and be that voice of the people of Halifax, and that's where you get the confidence from to do it.
Well, a big thank you to Holly for taking the time out to talk to us during her busy life as an MP. I think you'll agree we've met some wonderful characters and we've heard some great jokes during the course of the film. I think I'm in need of a drink after all this. Well, we're ending the film here in Hopwood Lane at the Halifax Catholic Memorial Club, where we're meeting the Landlubbers. They've written a brand new song for the film and it's called the Grog Log Song. It's all about beer and pubs in Calderdale. So I think I'd better go in and meet my friend Sam Smith, maybe Joshua Tetley, certainly Johnny Walker, and Jack Daniels will be in here as well.
In our homeland of Calderdale, there is so much to admire. The mills, the hills, the country lanes, and all that you desire. So along to the pub where the landlubbers and we'll share a glass of good cheer. And we'll chant our song as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. And we'll chant our song as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. From the cock of the north to the queens in Westfield, through Ellen to the Fleece, the Griffin out in Marcusland, and the last post in Ripponton, the Murgatroyd down to the Shepherd's Rest, the Northern Club out on the moors. And we'll chant our song as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. And we'll chant our song as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. The Croskeys of that civil to the volunteer arms, rethinking to the front line, big six and the upper George Yard. Yeah, bad! From Lofer to the meandering there, and the Greystone Unity. And we'll chant our songs as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. And we'll chant our songs as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. From the Flying Pig to the Winterbird, and down to the Catty Well, the Peacock and the Catholic Club, where the lovers are seen to dwell. The Flying Pig Whistle and the Hollings Mill, where I'll swing from the chandelier. And we'll chant our songs as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. And we'll chant our songs as we roll along with our grog log full of beer. We're at Nelson, the Weavers, the Brandywine, and then on to Barbary. Let's go! The Hare and Hounds, and the two Robin Hoods, and the Trades Club in Edgeham Bridge. The old Great, the Smart, and the Shopper.
navigating via top ring. The golden lion, the polished knob, and the house that Jack built. We've reached the end of the valley, boys. Turns out it's a cul-de-sac. So we'll chant our song as we roll along, and we'll suck the whole way back. So we'll chant our song as we roll along, and we'll suck the whole way back. So cheers to the pubs of Calderdale, and here's to the ones we've missed, to the friends we meet along the way. Our journey